All right, Jeandra, we got a great one coming up right now. Freddie Rojas Jr. He's a top prospect. He's a welterweight, and Jeandra, we love fighters. We love to interview fighters like this. You go right ahead. Take it on over.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you. You know, for folks that are new to you, what would you say best describes your style? What type of a fighter are you? And what's a fight that you've been in the past that you feel best shows the skills of the fighter that you are?
You know, my whole life people always try to compare me because of height and the weight class, stuff like that with Tommy Hearns. Now, I don't think I fight like Tommy Hearns, but that's a huge compliment for me anyways when people say that, because he actually is one of my favorite fighters. I'll say I'm more of a boxer, but if there's moments in the fight that I need to fight on the inside, then we'll fight on the inside because we have plans from A to Z. Of course, if I gotta find the inside, I'll find the inside. It was just always plans. You know? I kind of forgot what was the other question you asked.
Oh, no problem. I was looking through. It's okay. I was looking through your box rec, and I saw that you fought an opponent named Jorge Mendes twice in 2022. So it got me to thinking about of your 11 professional fights. Do you feel like that was the best version of yourself in those fights, or is there another fight we should look at that you feel best shows the type of fighter that you are?
Yeah, so with that dude, Jorge Mendes, I stopped. He didn't come out of the corner the fourth round the first time I fought him. And it was just like a good, I won't say scandal in the back of the dressing room because the guy was going crazy saying that his coach is this, his coach is that. And I'm the type of guy that I'm like, okay, if that's the thing, I'll give you the rematch. We'll fight again. I don't mind. And exactly the same way, he didn't come out the corner the fourth round. So it's just with me, when it comes to situations like that, if there's people don't think I won, or even that fighter thinks, oh, you didn't have the best of me. You got some. I had an off day. I'm like, okay, we can run it back. It doesn't matter to me. Now, for showing the skill case in boxing, I think the last fight was a good prime example. You know, there were so many people. Oh man, you're gonna lose. That's not your type of fight. You know, this guy puts pressure, this and this, and stuff like that. So I'm glad that people got to see a good example that what fighting on the inside, fighting on the long range, keeping out in the jab. You know, just because I'm a tall fighter doesn't mean I'm gonna have a small guy and put pressure and then just cancel me out and it's over for me. No, you know, I've always told people boxing is hit and don't get hit. Now, you know, our lives are at stake at the same point. I know my job is to entertain, but at the same time, it's also to take care of yourself, right? But no, I think my last fight, fighting with Showtime on PBC, was a great example of the type of fights I want to have. Maybe be a little bit more busy. Of course, everybody wants to knock out. I even wanted to knock out. Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen. But you know, I think that was just a great fight to showcase probably one of my best performances.
You just mentioned that you fought on PBC. Actually, you fought on the Frank Martin card, and that was your pro debut here in Las Vegas. And if people don't know who you are, you're a very decorated amateur. You have a bronze medal at the 2017 World Championship. You're a multi-time national championship, 2020 Olympic alternate. Yeah. So it's you kind of know what you're doing. But
yeah, you know, I would say.
When you know, I like to ask boxers who have a very decorated amateur pedigree, and when you go into boxing, when you go pro, it's very different. How different do you see that?
You know, that's very funny. You're actually the first person to ask me that. The whole time, like as an amateur, well, late amateur, you can say, and it was already almost time to transition to going pro. I was just like, man, I don't know what's wrong with these guys. That just slow down your feet and just, you know, that's the easiest thing ever, man. If someone told me to slow down, that'd be easier. But it was actually probably one of the hardest transitions for me ever to do, because in the amateur, I was literally one of them Cuban style, hit and don't get hit, moving around. So by the time I trans over, I had a very difficult time. Me, my father and Kay, we've worked so hard and so much to try to settle my feet down to the point where they are now. We're still working on it on time and stuff like that. But I think a lot of what amateurs struggle with is just slowing down, taking time, reading the person, reading the fight. It's longer rounds. It's not just 3 rounds. We got to think about, okay, if we're working on something on round 1, we got to hope we got to make sure that we have the condition to work with that in round 12 or round 10, or et cetera. Slowing your feet down, that was probably one of the biggest transitions that I struggled with. But I'm glad I'm getting the practices and the hours in of slowing it down, and it's going in there, you know. But that was definitely one of the things that I was like, oh no, that's gonna be easy. But the joke was on me. That was one of the hardest things.
That's good for fighters that are coming into the pro game thinking whatever I was doing in amateur, or even if they didn't have an amateur background, they're always looking for a knockout. They don't realize you have to have actual skills, or use your skills that you've learned throughout your career, and use you have to be conditioned to hopefully get those to 8 to 10 to 12 rounds. But I appreciate you saying that.
I appreciate you asking the question.
Your team, you have a stellar team. Your father, Freddie Rojas Sr., Kate Karoma, and it's Tobler, Kevin Smalls, and Sampson Boxing, who you signed with. Congratulations on that. But
thank you so much.
How did that team come about? And you're training at DLX Boxing?
Yeah. So, I mean, we have our own gym in Houston, you know, 0 to 100 Boxing Club. But when I'm here, I've had my training camps here in Vegas. And I be training over there with True and DLX Boxing. So I think I have an amazing team. I no longer work with Tobler. I have a new strength coach named Willie. So, you know, my father. Then I got Kay Karoma, Kevin Smalls is my cut man. And then for my strength coach, I have Coach Willie. And, you know, occasionally my brother be in the corner as well as for my last fight. He wasn't talking, but he was there in the back, you know. So I was kind of glad he was there. It was a surreal moment for both of us. And a lot of people don't know, like the whole time I was like, fangirling of everything, because, you know, as a kid I'm like, hey, I used to see you on TV and this is this. So when you get to live that moment and get to interviews and stuff, it was really like surreal. So that was really cool, and I'm glad I was able to do that with my brother too.
I want to circle back to what you were saying about the slowing down and making that transition from being an amateur to a pro. What do you think is the biggest kind of factor that makes amateurs fighting that way? That's that fast kind of, is it the way amateur boxing is scored? Is it a style? You know, why do you think that is so difficult for amateurs and pros?
I think in amateurs, it's just we only got 3 rounds. So it's just like you're trying to prove yourself, okay, that I won that round. I won the fight. So the system sometimes in amateurs, they change every kind of couple of years. I remember when I was 13, they had the point system. So how many punches you threw throughout the round. Now it's 10-9, 10-9. But even though like that, amateurs in amateur case, it's just whoever seems like they dominated the fight, which now you don't have to land, but as long as you're being busy and touching the shoulders or whatnot, or even the gloves, that's still something that the judges are like, oh, okay. Now, like in the pros, you know, they actually they see the person slow down, what touches, what body shots going, what head shots coming, which in amateurs, that's really not what they're looking for. They're just looking for who's more busy or who's pushing who back, who's dominating the fight, as you can say. But I'd say that was a real big difference, because in pros it's 12 rounds. I mean, however how many rounds you're doing, but it's a good long amount of fights, which the times within that fight, it can change, you know. Maybe something can work for you real good through 1 and 4, and then 6, 7, and 8, it's just 5, 6, 7, and 8, it's just you're getting beat up, and it's like, hold up, what the heck is going on? I was just piecing this dude little by little, and then that happened. So then it's just like, it really is a thinking game. You have to keep thinking as the rounds go by, because just as much as you're adjusting, your opponent's going to be just in the same way. But yeah, the amateurs, everything's just boom, 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 boom. Like they told us, the head coach, Billy Walsh, when I was in there, he said every 3 seconds you have to be throwing. They can't be those 3 seconds. But you can't hold back, because all they're saying, like I said, is who's being more busy, who's throwing more punches. So that's what I would say.
There's always a lot of discussion that goes around about judging, and we see decisions, and, you know, in social media, there's a lot of discourse about bad judging, good judging, etc. And the way judges are currently sat around the ring. If you could put yourself in the judge's shoes, how would you want to watch the fight? Like, would you want to be elevated above the ring, looking down, a monitor? In your mind, what would be the ideal way as a judge to sit and watch a fight and score it as effective as possible?
They should have, I mean, in the pros they do it sometimes. They put the little earmuff thing on top of the thing, but maybe if they put like a little shield or something, and maybe some young judges at the same time. I do get it, like, you know, they got the experience, but it's saying, you know, once you get old, the eyesight start going away a bit, even despite how far you are. So sometimes I think maybe if we throw in a slightly younger judging panel, maybe that will help out, because I know, or sometimes, you know, there's a lot of favoritism, not just in boxing, but in other sports. Maybe I think we really, which is hard because you really truly don't know who's being biased, who's being unbiased, you know? Someone can have a very favorite fighter and stuff like that, and they'd be like, squeeze in and give him some couple things. But I would just say try to find the most unbiased judges, but more like little walls or some earmuffs and stuff, and some, of course, younger judges to give a better scoring system, you know, instead of everybody saying, oh, yeah, judges robbed me for this fight or this one. And to be fair, I mean, it's not just in boxing, it happens in every other sport as well. But I think as a fighter in the boxing community, I think that would be really great for us, for something for us to fix, you know.
You have the pedigree of the Cuban boxer. When we hear Cuban boxers, we fans expect a specific style from Cuban boxers. But even before that, imagine you weren't a boxer. You apparently wanted to be a nurse.
Yeah.
Why a nurse? Yeah. Why a nurse of all careers?
My mom, since she's always been an RN. She worked in clinics and stuff, and I remember she used to work for this guy named Dr. Singh. And you know, my mom didn't have money to hire a babysitter, so I remember being out after school and stuff. She would go straight into her work, and we'll sit there and like in the lunchroom. I was probably like between 5 to 14. We would sit there so we'll sit there in the lunchroom just like chilling, and you know, sometimes we'll help my mom with like putting stickers or paperwork. But just being around that whole thing with my mom growing up and stuff like that, I grew for a love for the medical field. Mm-hmm. And you know, everything that she knows, she'd be teaching me along the way, which is good. It was very hard because, you know, my dad's a chef and my mom's a nursing program. So when I went to high school, I started off like because I went to ECTA, so I started off in the culinary program. But then when we moved to Fallon, Nevada, which is like 45 minutes away from Reno, that's when I transitioned into the medical field. But, you know, my parents always say we don't, you know, I mean, there's two things in this world that people are going to need: food and medicine, right? But no, the medical program, that's what I stuck with more, even though I have more passion for cooking. But if I can help people or through sporting, through my sport, even without the sport, I think that's something good. You know, there's a lot of sick people and a lot of people who need help in this world. So, but you know, my mom, she's the main reason why.
So wait, you can cook.
Yes.
Do you have knife skills?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I will hope so. I mean, if not, then my chef did a horrible job. No, but I took 6 years of culinary school. So, like I said, cooking is a real big passion for me. I've always said, if I wanted to open a restaurant, it wouldn't even be like a Cuban or Mexican. It would be Italian, because I love Italian food. I love pasta. I love pizza. Oh my gosh, don't even bring a pizza during training camp because I go crazy.
That's the number one pizza fan there you're talking to right there.
My boyfriend is a huge pizza fan. When our son was born, Brooklyn, his everything was pizza. His onesie when he was born was a pizza. It says, and then his blanket had pizza slice. Name it, it's pizza. Everything's pizza.
Since he's living a good life. To me, that's a good life. Because I love, like I say, people don't get it. I love pizza. After every fight, I always have to have pizza.
Can you make your own pizza?
Yeah, well, we always do it sometimes with my parents back at home, or if we get invited out, because sometimes we get family members like, come on, man. Especially my cousins living here in Vegas. They're like, come on, you should make us some food, man. I don't mind. But, you know, sometimes in training camp, it's like, I don't, you know, man, come on, man, I can't eat that. But, you know, I'm going to make it for you. But I've always tell people, because a lot of people say, especially my parents, like, I don't know how you like cooking like that. Well, I won't say parents, my mom. I don't know how you and your dad like cooking like that, man. It's just so stressful sometimes. Like, you got to worry about this. I'm like, to be honest, it's probably one of the most stress-free places I feel like, you know, because you be in the zone. I mean, and then A lot of people always say, "Oh, how come you're not eating?" Oh no, I did eat. I probably ate like 3 plates worth of food while like just minching off while you're cooking the whole time. But no, yeah, that cooking in the medical field, that's something real big in my life.
You just said your parents, so your father's Cuban and your mom's Mexican.
Yes.
You'd rather eat Italian food. Now, based off Cuban, Mexican, which food do you like better?
Oh
And
my
what's your
gosh,
favorite dish?
that's hard.
Answer correctly, because your mom and dad will be watching this interview.
Whichever way I go, I'm in a hole. No, I think my dad knows too. My dad would say the same thing. You know, I like Mexican food more. That's something, that's a delicacy. I don't know why. I don't know what it is in that Mexican food that make it taste so good. But for mine will be chile rellenos. Those are probably one of my favorite ones, or enchiladas. Those two things, talk about gaining weight. Those will really help me right there. But those are really good. Those are the two dishes. My wonderful chile rellenos are my favorite dishes. Favorite dish, you could say.
Jeandra, we're gonna have to invite him over for him to cook for us.
No, I mean,
I wouldn't mind.
She's got a pizza oven in her backyard.
I do.
So, she could get
that's it.
See, there's always a discussion about putting weird things on pizza. The whole pineapple on pizza is like a whole big thing. So as someone who is of Cuban and Mexican descent, who loves Italian food, what can we put on the pizza from those two cultures? Can we put some plantains on the pizza? Like, what weird thing would you want to put on a pizza from either of your cultures of your family?
But that will taste good. But that will still be delicious.
That's hard, because I haven't experimented with that yet. I would say for the more Cuban side, I would try to do, because personally, sometimes I like pineapple on pizza.
Me too.
I
do
think
too.
it's good. Yeah, so I think it's good. So I kind
do.
of like that little sweetness in there. But I would probably for the Cuban side pizza, you could say, I'll probably throw some like sweet plantains. I don't know about the hard one. I think the sweet plantains will kind of go contrast with the cheese and with some type of meat, maybe some sausage or some pork.
On the cheese, wouldn't you use maybe a couple different cheeses, like
Yeah,
instead of
definitely.
mozzarella?
Definitely, yeah. That's what I said. That's what I love about cooking. You can always experiment. You know what I mean? If it's bad, you can be like,
What if you make the crust out of the plantains?
Ooh.
That's actually a smart idea.
You know what? When you actually create this, you need to cut us, or you need to cut us in, because this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tag you guys in the thing.
We give out a lot of ideas. I'm just saying, Jeandra and I.
No, that's a good idea right there. I'm gonna have to do that after my fight, actually.
Chris Algieri, the fighter. Chris Algieri.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has a fighter cookbook, because he's he's an actual like. Oh yeah. So. I mean, you don't do it necessarily for nutrition, but you could put out a cookbook of pizzas and other things, and Jeandra and I can write the foreword, and we get a thank you. I'm just letting you know. That's a good idea. Because if you have 6 years under your belt, guys don't even know how to make scrambled eggs. And you're over here probably making some like fancy Parisian foo-foo stuff. But I think that's, it's another avenue to pursue.
I'm not gonna lie. In my first year of culinary school, I wanted to cry so bad. She was so mean. I always felt like she had something personal towards me, to be honest. But I remember I think this is what got her mad. I remember we were making like over medium eggs, right? So I had the egg in the pan, but how she wanted us to do it was grab the other pan and put it on top and then flip it one at a time. And I was real skinny at that time, like real little and skinny. I was like 95 pounds, probably like 5'1". So when I had the thing, I had like no strength, and it was a gas stove, right? So when I was in the mid, like gonna flip it like this, the egg just slipped right down the middle and went hit the fire, and she screamed at me probably for the whole rest of the class. She just had me sweeping up. I was just so embarrassed, because you see all these girls just making it look so easy. I'm like, you know what, man? I was like, maybe this isn't for me. I don't know. But no. After that, it was, everything was fine. I think I got on the good side after
You
that.
didn't have your man strength then.
When I kid you not, the egg just went right down the middle. I was just like, come on. And I was the only one that happened to me. And then that class only had two guys. It was just me and the other dude. So I mean, for us, it was a good because we were surrounded by girls all the time. But you can imagine this embarrassment, the embarrassment I had. Just
No, but
so,
that's the best pickup line. I know how to cook. I went to
Period.
culinary school. Girls be like, really? Oh, that's yeah. I don't know if you have a girlfriend, so I'm just letting you know
no,
that.
no, no.
And just
The gym back at the gym is my girlfriend. That's what I always tell
There
people.
you go.
I know that's right. And see, now with learning how to flip the egg properly, it can help you turn your punches over.
No, hey, you see, yeah,
Oh,
exactly. See, that's perfect right there. Perfect.
see,
See,
even
that's what was going on at that moment. I was thinking about boxing. I wasn't thinking about the egg. So, I was just practicing how
Life
to throw
path.
my punch right. Yeah.
I mean, you're very well rounded for someone that's so decorated early on
Thank
in their
you. Thank you.
career and be able to go into culinary school because culinary school is not easy by any means. And then I don't know if you're watching in your downtime, The Bear on Hulu. It's such a good
No,
show.
I haven't seen it.
It's about
Watch that.
it is so good. It's so
It's
good.
called The Bear. The Bear.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on Hulu. It's a cooking show, and you'll see why. You'll get
I've
very
probably seen
frustrated.
like every cooking show, like from Gordon Ramsay and stuff, from Kitchen Nightmares, the whole Hotel Nightmares and stuff, like
You should be on
them
one of those
stuff.
cooking shows, like Oscar De La Hoya did it. The Kitchen Nightmares or Hell's Kitchen. You should be
Hell's
on
Kitchen is a
it.
great one too.
It
I
really
want
is.
to see. I used to think about it, but sometimes I'll be like, I don't know, man. Them guys are a little too good. Seeing them get yelled at, but I've always said this. One probably if I'm not in there in the Hell's Kitchen, to at least eat there, and watch them get screamed at. But either one. No, but that is like a big mind that something in mind that I've been wanting to do since I first started culinary school.
See, who's on your boxing Mount Rushmore now? You've got Cuban descent, you've got Mexican descent, and then you have fighters as a whole. But what does your Mount Rushmore of greatest fighters look like top five?
What generation are we talking about?
All
Just in
time, all
general?
time greats,
All time.
all time. It can be current, it can be past, but just your all-time five faves.
I've always said Tommy Hearns is one of the top guys I like there. I like Rick India because his movement. Now, I always said if he was a way busier fighter, he'll be really great. Like, I don't think anybody beat him if he just likes his hands go. But his movement is great, especially at the age. Rick India, I love Lada. Julio Cesar Chavez, no, that's not even a question. That dude's amazing. And of course, Bud. I think Bud's a phenomenal fighter. So those are my five guys right there. In no order, but it's just in five. So.
Did you watch the fight the other day, Usyk versus Dubois?
No, I did not. I think I was at the gym, and then I was more focused on watching my guys from my stablemates, my teammates like Nico, Shushu, Efe, and Han, the cast dude. So I was kind of more focused on that.
What does the ref tell you where the belt line is where you're not allowed to hit? Is it below the belly button or the belt line of your shorts? Because we always see you guys, your shorts are riding up and down. So what does the ref tell you?
They always tell me anything under the belt line is a no-go. So from here. Well, my belly button here. So from here, roughly my shorts, but from here down, it's like a no-go.
So when Usyk got hit, his belt line was above his belly button from all the pictures.
Oh, see, then
that's the problem. But the problem is that they go because they go up. I always see ladies and the gentlemen pulling or riding their shorts down. It's because of your cup and whatever else.
Like in that case, I don't know, because in that case, I don't. That's still like that part of the cup is still covered, and they punches right there really aren't too bad. Now it will be a good, smart veteran move, to be honest, to get a little extra breather and stuff like that, because it does look like it's there. But if your trunks are riding all the way up half above your belly button, then it's a legal shot, really. I did see some memes where they had Usyk's trunks like all the way up here that I was laughing, but I wasn't the one that got hit down there, so I wouldn't really know. You could say the same thing kind of what happened with Efe. on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
But he actually did get hit in the balls.
I mean,
like,
the
a
guy
bunch of
was
times.
purposely hitting him in the balls.
Yeah, yeah. And
Absolutely.
I was actually talking to my coach K this morning actually. We both think the guy was just like he couldn't do anything, so I think he just being a prideful of a man, he didn't want to get knocked out and stuff like that. So he was like, you know what, I think I just gotta, just kick this guy in the balls and hopefully they disqualify me because nobody wants to get knocked out. So that's what me and Kay were talking about. Maybe that's what was going on in his head. He want to get knocked out in some crazy way and go home and have everybody like talk to him about it. So maybe that's why. I mean, I'm happy for Efe that he got, but Efe was like, I didn't want to win like that.
A
But
win's a
no,
win.
yeah.
A win is a win.
A win is a
What
win.
is Efe like as a person outside of the ring since you guys are stablemates? We have seen a man walk out the ring. We have seen this man purposely low blow him because clearly his opponent didn't give a damn about
Yeah.
being disqualified. He just looked like, yeah, I did it and did. And that was the end of the fight. Is Efe like an intimidating kind of guy? Like what kind of a personality is he?
When you see him, like I remember the first time I ever met him, when you see him in person, it's oh man, this guy looks serious. He looks pretty mean. But he's actually probably one of the biggest jokesters in the gym. And like his English is so broken. Sometimes he's like, what? What? So like just how he talks, his accent, it's funny. So basically whatever he says, you make it funny. But he's really funny. Like he always joking around with us and with Josh Green, and when it's between Josh Green and this guy and Efe, I'm telling you, they should have their own movie. Like it's the most funniest thing ever. But no, he's a very, very humble guy. I mean, he's always here in the kitchen because we always stay in the same fight house, and he's always in the kitchen cooking some food. I've always told him like after my fight, you got to make me some fufu and some the
Escargot?
escargot.
He makes escargot?
Yeah, from scratch. I'm telling you,
Wow.
this whole kitchen is filled with food.
Wait,
like Efe knows how to cook.
snails? Snails?
Yeah, like he knows how to cook and everything. So this dude, he cooks good, man. Like I'd be looking at every time he's cooking every day. Now he's not here. Unfortunately, it's just me here because I'm the only one that can fight him. But he's a tremendous guy. If you want someone to talk to and have a good time,
I know, right?
Talk to him.
Why don't you two have a cooking show together?
Right. Actually, that's a good idea. You got a nice high counter there. Just put the computer there, put it on Zoom or something, and you guys have a pizza escargot. Put the escargot on the pizza.
Yes, that's protein.
I've never had escargot, so that would be something.
It's very slimy.
Yeah, probably new. I don't know. I've never had it, so.
I'm so shocked that Efe would be cooking that in the kitchen.
So random.
And it's not like a candlelit dinner. It's like, hey, here's some, just throw it in my salad.
Yeah, but he eats really healthy as well. So I think probably out of all of us in the house, he's the one who eats the most like cleanest and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie, but he always cooking some good food when I'm in training camp losing weight. So sometimes I'll be like, man, I wish I was a super heavyweight. And they're like, you don't want that because that will knock you up too. And I was just like, okay.
Wait, what is he, Nigerian?
Yeah, Nigerian.
Yeah.
Igusi. That's what he's cooking. Igusi soup. Igusi soup and jollof and all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
I know he has like fufu with something, but he's always dipping and that thing's always tempting me like crazy.
So do you cook for yourself then, or do you have a nutritionist?
Yeah, so in the beginning of training camp, probably for maybe the first week or 2 weeks, I'll be cooking my own stuff. But then the rest I'll be working with perfecting athletes with Paulina.
Okay.
So, but they're great. They're amazing. They were working with me in my last camp, and I kid you not, that was probably the best I've ever felt losing weight wise and stuff. The day of fight, I was eating and I had breakfast and I had like a little smoothie and some water. I was just like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah,
But,
I hope a lot of fighters would be able to get a nutritionist under their belt. I know it does cost money, but it does. We've seen what people, when they don't make weight or they're too dehydrated, we don't want to see them passing out, and God forbid all these other things. But food is huge when it comes to fighting. 147, that is your weight. Do you plan on going up in weight, or is this your weight?
That's hard for me to say. I mean, I do feel like later on in life I will go up. You know, my body's still growing, my body's still filling in. So
You're
I
tall.
think it
6'2" is tall for a
yeah,
welterweight.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I think it's only a matter of time until I go up. Um I don't know when that's gonna be. I've always given myself like a little time frame, maybe 2 years, but I really don't know. It's my body's my body. If my body can't make 47 anymore, it can't make it anymore. And so then I'll go up. But as of right now, I make 47 pretty fine and stuff. And like I said, working with Paulina, I made it even easier. So as of right now, I'm chilling at 47. So, but no, later on for sure, I know I'll end up going up in weight and stuff like that. I don't know. I've always tell people I don't know what weight I'm gonna finish at and stuff. But I know I'm definitely gonna be. I won't finish my career at 47, or maybe, or I probably won't even finish it at 54. You know, I'll probably go up to friggin' 160. So
Okay. Well, any final thoughts, Jeandra?
I want to try the pizza for sure. Definitely
Yep.
want to do that post fight. Definitely want to try the plantain crusted. Because I mean, if you can make a crust out of cauliflower, plantain probably is jamming. It'll
yeah,
probably taste it.
yeah.
Because people make like mofongo and stuff like that. So I'm sure it's probably bomb. But yeah, those are my final thoughts and best of luck to you in your fight.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
I mean, I made cauliflower pizza. I made grounded chicken as the crust.
Grounded
Pizza.
chicken as a crust.
Yeah, I did it during
How was that?
pandemic. Oh, it was so good.
It didn't fall apart. It didn't fall
No,
apart. Or what you do?
it's about
Did you
the
mash it?
yeah, you have to mash it. I mean, it's already grounded, and then you just, roll it up and you mash it and just put your cheese. I put a ton of vegetables. It's like basically you're eating chicken and vegetables. Cheese, that's all it is, but it's
That
so
just
good.
sounds good. I don't know. That sounds good though.
Sorry, I
That's
know you're supposed to
brilliant.
be I know you're trying to make weight, so don't listen to me. Right.
No, what the funny thing is,
It's
you know,
healthy. It's chicken.
yeah, I mean, I've watched a lot of people think I'm crazy, but you know, I'd be watching on YouTube people cooking food, and I always say them like I'm gonna make that when I'm done, and I never do, but or that, or I watch people eat food, you know, just like YouTubers like
You're one
chili
of those.
competition or something. Yeah, like
Okay, ASMR guy.
I know.
yeah, so I'm just so I don't know. It's just it honestly helps me when I'm losing weight. I don't know why. I'm just weird like that, but
We're gonna start filming our videos like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the first one just there. I'm like, yeah, take a bite on the other side.
It is amazing when I see the little Asian girls. I'm like, they did not
Right?
slurp all of those. Like, how did they do that? Or even the hot dog contest. I'm like, do they go to the bathroom? Do they throw up after? Do they not gain any weight? Like, what is this? Do they take stuff out of their body, like remove things so it just goes down easier? I don't know.
That stuff, yeah.
That's a
Like
sport.
mhm.
That's a sport that
And
I don't want to ever
like you
try.
said, imagine eating so much and not. I don't know. They have to throw up afterwards of how bad they're gonna feel. How the stomach feeling bloated and everything. Not bloated, but so filled up with food afterwards. I don't know, because you know, if you eat so much, you know, sometimes there's a point you feel like throwing up, your stomach start hurting, and you just gotta roll to the side and just sit there for a bit. But I don't know. They like you say, they train for that, and I train for this. We got two different job lines, but
All right, Freddie Rojas. Well, we can't wait to see you September 15th. You will be on the undercard of the Pedroza versus Cardenas card, taking place Boeing Center at Techport in San Antonio, Texas. You can catch him on ShoBox, on Showtime. Get your tickets. If not, tune in. This will be exciting because it's your second time on Showtime, and you will be seen. I know it's a dream come true for you to be televised and show off
big
your
blessing.
skills, your southpaw skills. Can't wait to see what you do against Saul Bustos. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day. God bless you guys.
Thank you. You
You
too.
too.
I know we didn't get to record an intro because we got to speak with Freddie Rojas Jr. And usually we would do an intro, but he was a delight.
He really was.
But from knowing that he had culinary skills to being a nurse, which was such a beautiful story about his mom, and him just, I mean, even Efe Ajagba, like who knew he knew how to throw down in the kitchen?
For sure. Like we learned the most random things. And the irony that all that good cooking that goes on between his parents, between Cuban and Mexican food, he want to make Italian food. I love Italian food too, but that again, random. He said, I've got a passion for a whole nother thing. And so best of luck to him. He was really cool. Nice guy.
I know it's sweet that he had the passion to be a chef, which is very difficult, and then going into the medical field, which are such different fields, and then he ended up in a very complete different field and became an outstanding amateur, like very, very decorated. And he's just what, 11-0, 6'2". He's young, but I can't wait to see where he goes in his career. He was such a funny guy to talk to.
Just very nice, refreshing personality, taking it serious. He's over there holding the fight house down by himself, but very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing his fight for sure.
I know, me too. It was interesting when we asked him about the what everyone's talking about, the low blow. Was it a low blow? And honestly, when we were watching the fight, it looked clean to us on camera, but then when you see slow motions and pictures, it doesn't. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I feel the same way as you. It looked like it was right on the belt line, maybe slightly a little. I mean, like I wasn't there to feel it.
Yeah. So if his belt line was here, his shorts, and I mean, you know, the cup, if it's grazing, if it hits, then yeah, that he feels it obviously, and then it eventually lands upwards. But who knows? We will never know. It's Usyk's balls that will know. I don't know.
Exactly. You know, for those of you who are tuning into this episode, drop it in the comments section. What do you think is a low blow? Was it a low blow? Did Dubois hit him underneath the cup? You know, did Usyk have his joint up under his boobies? You know, we don't know. Let us know in the comments for sure.
It was a really good fight, though. It was a little. I didn't think Dubois was going to do that well, and I was very surprised. I was a little shocked, though, that he didn't try to even beat the count, maybe because he's like, oh, hell's no, I'm hurt from the last round. But he did give a good fight to Usyk, and like they said, Usyk was fighting not just for himself, but he fought for his country. And crazy enough that they try to put that fight as close to Ukraine as possible, and that was in Poland. So it was a good fight. Now, hopefully, we get the fight with Usyk. With Fury once his circus. Oh no, it's not a circus. It's an actual fight, but no belts are on the line against Francis Ngannou.
I'm gonna feel you. It is a circus. I think you said it right the first time.
I mean, they're getting paid. Right. They're getting paid a lot of money. So I can't hate on them. If someone's gonna throw me that much money, I don't even. It's like a lot. Dude, hit me. I don't care. I'll get knocked out. I got good insurance, so screw it.
Exactly. I agree. Hopefully we get this Usyk Fury matchup, Fury Usyk, Usyk Fury, however you want to put it, A side, B side. That's always a thing, but I'm glad to see Usyk. Can you imagine Usyk's dance moves and Fury singing? Let's do it.
Oh my God. It's going to be straight like a karaoke dance off.
Usyk gets down. He is really does. A character.
You know, when he was dancing in the ring, I just wanted to dub the song. I'm so excited. I really wanted to play that song.
We're gonna have to post it and put it on our stories with that.
I was like, it's so cute. I was like, it just sounded like it. I'm like, just the way he was moving. But it was a fun fight to watch, and it's a lot of just that whole card. Congratulations to that. And I did see, you know, Michaela Mayer is back in the news. She's fighting on the undercard of Liam and Eubanks Jr. 2, the rematch. And I saw that we still have to post. I do have a video that she is eventually going to want to move up to super welterweight, possibly. I mean, she's growing. She's getting thick. She's looking good.
Thick.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's happening with Alicia Baumgardner. That's still up in the air. But she's trying to stay busy fights, and eventually she wants Tasha Jonas and Terry Harper. But Terry Harper's going to be fighting Cecilia Brækhus very, very soon. So the women are getting down and busy. Nina Hughes wants to fight Ebony Bridges. I think Nina has a mandatory. So I don't know. These women, do you see? The women always know the fights that have to be fought because there's belts on the line, and they know how to milk it and they know how to make money off of it. But someone needs to fight Wilder. Ruiz needs to drop his 25 million asking price, because you ain't getting that
from anyone. Literally no one. Literally no one.
Nobody. Dubois versus Ruiz. Yeah. Mark Ortega tweeted that out, and I said, that's a really good idea, because
Yeah.
Dubois is actually, he's tough. He's a little slower than, Usyk, but no one's as fast as Usyk, maybe Fury is. But Dubois is strong, and I want to see how Ruiz looks. So maybe if you take a pay cut and you want stay busy fights, then maybe you can become a mandatory for somebody to fight for one of the belts. I'm just saying. I mean, we're just putting it out there.
Somebody needs to do something. Recently, go back and watch Best Women's Boxing Show YouTube channel. And I caught up with Michael Buffer. And he's like, as much as we like these exciting smaller weight fights, the heavyweights just moves things worldwide. They get the most attention. They're the big boys, and big boys always get big attention in every sport. And boxing is no exception. So hopefully we get something then. And come on, people. Come on. We need something. Wilder, Ruiz, Joshua, Usyk, Fury. Well, Fury's got his thing with Ngannou. But just somebody do say, hell, yeah, we just spoke to this young man who's Cuban descent, put Luis Ortiz in something with somebody, who knows?
Yeah.
Get something going.
Yeah, because I know Big Bang Zhang is going to have his rematch with Joe Joyce in less than a month. So I really want to see how that's going to happen. But those are all big fights to be had, and we all want to see. We just don't like the belts to be held up, and we already know who's holding up the belts. Just saying.
Period.
I mean,
just saying.
And lastly, I want to go back. I was listening on the 3 knockdown rule. Crawford, great interview. When Crawford said, I wouldn't mind moving up to 168 to fight Canelo. And I did hear in an interview, Bomac said, I think it was Ring IQ or somebody said it. He said, well, he nearly walks at 168, so that actually shouldn't be a problem. Which I found, I'm like, you know what? No one really walks at their fighting weight. That would be crazy. But that would be the match of all matches.
What does that even look like? I'm trying to even imagine Crawford that size in the ring. Walk around weight, we don't see him every day. He's not a social guy. So I'm not accustomed to seeing him being that size. So just the face off alone would be very exciting to see, because how tall is Canelo? 5'7"-ish, 5'8"-ish, something like that. Crawford is, I think, around the same thing. So, could be interesting. He said he wants it. Canelo doesn't really turn down any smoke, and it could be a great super fight. But they respect each other. They're both undisputed champions in different weight divisions. So hey, why not? Let's go.
I know. I think that fight is. That would be a good fight. That's one of those fights. That's a legacy fight.
Absolutely.
But when someone said Tank, he did say he wants to touch his glass jaw or something. I'm thinking, no, Tank can't be moving up to 154, 147. No, he needs to go fight the other guys. He needs to fight like Haney, Shakur. Leave him alone, Crawford.
He's got plenty business where he's at. Plenty.
He really does. And then lastly, I work TCL. You were helping out Team Combat League. We finally had our Mega Brawl 1 in the strangest conditions, because in California, we were having a hurricane watch, a tornado, a storm watch, and we had an earthquake the same day. So
crazy.
Name it, we had it. It was not on our bingo card, but it really turned out well. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and anxiety, but the show went off without a hitch. And New York City Attitude did their thing. And wow, it was good to be on the call. It was good to be a roving reporter on it. It was good. Jeandra, you got to put in your work and get those fighters. We had Devin Haney come through, Sean Porter, Austin Trout, 2 ladies, me, oh God, what is her name? Jessica Bach. That was Alejandro Silva's wife from LA 10 Goose. He fought on the All-Stars. And she's awesome. Like, her record is like 30 and I think not even that many losses, very, very few, and 18 or 28 knockouts or something. I just kept staring at her body. I'm like, she's got a banging body.
With the dark curly hair?
Yeah, she had she was just jacked. And
super jacked. I remember her.
Yeah.
She was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and her husband he was a standout fighter. Unfortunately, their team did not make it through, but he did fight on the All-Stars. And then there's other Ms. She has the pink hair, the Asian girl. Did you see her? She's I think a WBO champion, Mizuki. Yeah, so it was good to see them in the audience. Hey man, they came through and they came out in that weather. And who is it? King Botch? And Wahid, I don't know, he's a comedian.
All these big influencer guys. A lot of guys came through, and Al Reynolds came through from Fox Soul, and Caleb Plant during the week came through. Evander Holyfield.
Oh yeah, Evander Holyfield came out for the fight. It was pretty star-studded. Like I didn't know what was happening because I didn't know what was happening with the show because we didn't know every day were we going to have a show because of the weather. That was a problem. But let
me take a minute and give you your flowers too. You know, you said it kind of glazed over it lightly. You did a full load of work from roving to color to commentary. Like kudos to you. I encourage everyone to go back and watch the TCL fights. You know, maybe we could put it in the notes which fight Cynthia was on the call for. But hype your girl up. Hype it up.
Yeah. Thank you.
For Cynthia, you did a fantastic job. I didn't get to see the Mega Brawl, of course, because I was there, but you were killing it. You looked incredible, and I'm proud of you. You did a fantastic job because that ain't easy. Like everyone sits at home and goes, oh, someone should do this and someone should do that until you put a mic in their face and then everybody freezes.
Yeah.
Everybody freezes.
And it's not different. You. Like a lot of people, you know, with the normal boxing card, it's you have 10 fighters, but this one you had several fighters, and to know what they did in the past season. Luckily, I was fortunate enough to be able to be color commentary on a couple cards and get to interview a lot of the fighters. So coming full circle with them during the semifinals and the Mega Brawl, I was able to be on the call for both. And I was just so happy because that is exactly what I want to do in boxing besides just interview. I want to be able to call the fights and, tell your story on the mic of your background. Because a lot of the, blow by blow guys don't know. They just see what's in the ring. I'm able to do both. So I really enjoyed it. And I commend the whole Team Combat League. And I thank Mark and Ahmed, Sheikh and Belinda from all of us. It was such an outstanding event. It was hot as balls. I think we all lost 10 pounds in there. It was so sweaty, nasty in there. Not because of the weather, and also the studios that we had. They were open doors, but it was a beautiful studio.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. But yeah, so I guess that this will round up our episode. But you guys tune into all of our interviews, a lot of our things that are popping up. Jeandra was on the carpet, Pump Foundation, and she got some really good stuff. Drew Brees, Jimmy Lennon Jr., Michael Buffer. Who else was there? Oh yeah, Lamar Odom. He gave a quick bit, but there, we got some stuff, and I got a little thing of Haney that's still popping, and our Keith Thurman is still popping, girl, from Spence Crawford.
You guys, okay, let me talk to the guys real quick. Lean in, and I'm saying the guys because our audience is probably like 90% men. Some of y'all need some help. Like for real, some of you guys are real weird and kind of cuckoo in the comment section. Have an opinion, but comment down. Some of y'all are real angry for no reason. Like it's just like in jest. They're not gonna fight each other. If they do fight, it'll be an exhibition style fight. Y'all talking about you want the woman dead. Like, calm down. Like, seriously, you need some help. Why are you wishing death on people? But, we do appreciate you stopping by. Keep commenting, keep sharing and liking.
We will.
Those things. But, touch some grass sometime, y'all, for real.
I know. I was like, some of those comments, I'm like, but I'm not deleting it. I go,
no, that's right.
I go, because we want to see what people want to say about this. Because I honestly had no idea it was going to go off like that.
It went nuts. Kudos to you. And you had to stand out in the hot ass Vegas to get that. Let us not forget that.
It was so hot in Vegas that day. I was like dripping of sweat everywhere, out of every orifice out of me. And this is before I walked in for fight night. So yes, I do it for you guys. There you go. You're welcome.
You're welcome indeed.
Okay, well, Jeandra, this is fun again. We can't wait. I know this will the next time we'll see each other will be for Canelo Charlo. So this will be very, very fun. You guys tune in. And if you guys are in Vegas, come say hi to us. We'll be at Fight Week MGM Grand. And remember, put in the comments of everything that we talked about with Freddie Rojas. And then also throw in your Canelo Charlo predictions, because I know we have a couple predictions that it's from the Alicia Baumgardner and I don't even remember who else, but it's out already. But we can always put them down because that's a very, very, very interesting matchup. Anything can happen in boxing. You never know.
Anything.
All right, Jeandra, it was great seeing you. I miss you. Love you. I will see you soon. I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf.
Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.